first one here. When will you be here?
Well, we know the wait has been long, but now it's literally on like Donkey Kong. Griffin football days away from the Mules. GSI will get you ready with our informational tools. The summer of love is over. The Griffons are back to claim championship crowns. So suit up, dig in. GSI Season 5, ready to get down. Griffin Sports Insider is presented by Mosaic Life Care. Well, hello and welcome. Ryan, Brett, Griffin Sports Insider back on your TV screen for a 5th straight year. It's the 2nd greatest streak in sports behind Cal Ripken.
Well, I think it is. And it is on like Donkey Kong, isn't it? Welcome back. We haven't been fired or canceled yet. One more year of job security because Missouri Western Sports gives us a reason to live.
Yeah, the soccer team is healthy. The volleyball group is good. And football is ready to showcase the next generation. A lot of interesting storylines from this 2014 Griffin football team. They are ranked 24th in the nation in the D2Football.com preseason poll. They returned 19 starters from a team that went 8-3 a season ago, including the MIAA's top running back, a first-team cornerback, an All-American punter, a touted game-testing receiving corps, a veteran linebacker unit, and a battle-tested trench of offensive and defensive linemen. But there is one glaring, unproven position which will be constantly under the microscope this season. 3 years starting quarterback Jerry Partridge is gone. He's off making a name for himself in the Canadian Football League. In his place will be a redshirt freshman. We're just not sure which one it'll be. Skylar Windmiller and TJ LeFevre have been battling for the QB reins all spring and summer. Both were brought in 2 years ago with the understanding that they would compete for the keys to this offense this year. They each bring different skills to the table. LeFevre, a 6'2", 185-pounder from Warrenton, Missouri, is a dual threat with his arms and legs. Windmiller, 6'3", 190 pounds, former Kansas All-State quarterback from Mill Valley High School in Shawnee. He's more your prototype pocket passer with a big arm. Both have shown flashes of brilliance in camp, and the race, even now at this point, too close to call.
It's a good competition because everybody's so different.
They have their own different skill sets, and I think that Skylar Windmiller really throws it well, understands, I think our offense well, gets it out quick.
I think I'm more of a passer. I mean, I think that's pretty clear.
TJ LeFevre is a tremendous all-around athlete with great throwing motion, great natural throwing motion, throws it well.
I'll make the play, just be a playmaker. If I have to throw it, I'll throw it. If I have to run, I'll run.
So I think they're all ready to go. I think they're chomping at the bit to go out there and earn his job.
Everything I do is competitive. I want to win in everything. Like, I'm that guy in PE that people say, dude, it's not the Olympics. Like, I just love to compete, so I was drawn to the situation. Skylar's a friend of mine, and as soon as we came up here over the last summer, we were roommates, and we had all our classes together last semester.
It's going to be fun. I hope we can stay friends regardless of what happens, but it's definitely going to be an experience. I think the main thing is competition. I think regardless of who gets the job, it's going to be the best version of them, because to get the job, everybody's going to compete and work every single day.
Well, whoever takes the field September 4th will have a wealth of returning targets to throw to.
Boy, they sure will. Juniors D. Tolliver, Josh Walker, and Stephon Weaver all back at receiver. Weaver was the team's leading wideout in 2013, 553 receiving yards and 7 touchdowns. But the bread and butter on this Griffin team in recent years has been the running game. Senior Dom Thomas has been a stalemate in the Griffin backfield over the last 4 years, but the bulk of the carries, you guessed it, will go to junior Raphael Spencer. Spencer was the MIAA's leading rusher last season, running for more than 1,300 yards and 12 touchdowns. The Griffins will look to him to carry the load again.
I need to work as hard as I can this summer. You know, I feel like this team needs me to be successful on the ground. You know, I feel like if I don't pull my weight on the ground and blocking, pass protection, that we're gonna have a little struggle on the offensive side, just because we have new quarterbacks stepping in.
Well, up front, the Griffins return 4 starters on the offensive line, including Travis Anderson, Chris Orduno, and Leonard Wester. Defensively, 10 starters back on a unit that will bring a new look and new direction this season.
Yeah, Wes Bell has been the defensive line coach at Western for the last 7 years, but enters his first year as defensive coordinator. His D-line very experienced with Mackenzie Wishman, John Oglesby, Brody Berry, Giannis Matulis, Brandis Elliott, all played significant minutes in 2013. Linebacker spot also very experienced, very talented, led by senior Steven Juergens, who led the Griffins in tackles the last 2 years. Junior Yami Ali back. He's a multiple-year starter. Just this his junior year. Well, you can feel safe at safety as well with senior Mark Harrison anchoring that unit. Harrison started all 11 games last year, picked off 3 passes in that time. Cornerback position, he's young, deep, and talented. Mike Jordan leads that charge. The junior to be, who wears number 23, was a first-team All-MIAA selection as a sophomore. He was also the conference's freshman of the year 2 years ago. He has 7 career interceptions. Other teams don't throw his way very often, or he'd have a lot more. The younger brother of former Griffin All-World tight end Reggie Jordan may be Missouri Western's next NFL prospect. And you know what? If that doesn't work out, he could probably be the next host of GSI.
Coach Partridge interviewed by media because it's media day. This is the only time Griffins and Bearcats can be in the same room and be somewhat civil. How do you feel about media day?
Media day is my favorite time of year, actually. How do you feel about media day?
Oh, this is the first time experience for me, so far so good.
Do you believe that you're the best Michael Jordan in the United States?
Yes, without a doubt.
At all sports?
At all sports. So, Coach P, how do you feel about media day?
I enjoy media day. It's fun to see everybody. The only thing I don't like is cocky players that think they can do interviews.
Oh, wow.
And joining us now is the Killjoy.
The Killjoy.
The man accused by football players at Missouri Western everywhere of ruining Twitter fun.
Certainly not.
I felt like that's what you wanted me to do, but I went with what.
We'll get into that a little bit later. We got a lot to talk about before we get into that. Jerry Partridge entering his 18th year.
Does it feel like 18 years?
Yes and no.
18.
Yes and no.
Yes and no. What's the no part?
Just that you feel young and enjoy doing it. The yes part is when I look in the mirror and see see the difference.
Well,
we're all getting there to a point. Yes, we are.
Yes. So, hey, lots of youthful experience. We just talked about it on this 2014 football team. Just your thoughts on everything that's coming back in a nutshell.
Well, honestly, we're very experienced football team. We got a lot of people back. There's just 3 areas where we're fairly inexperienced. The tight end spot, but yet Alec Furbett played a lot of H-back and had a role and played a lot. Center, Jeremy Jacobson is a kid that was our starting center last year, so we're inexperienced at center. Maiden O'Neill played another position late in the year, started at left tackle, and Leonard Wester was hurt. And obviously quarterback is a spot where we're going to have an experience starting there.
Well, let's go there. 2 starting quarterbacks in 7 years. Going to have a new starter this year. Could be redshirt freshman T.J. Lefevre, Skylar Windmiller. You've got Nate Wilson, who's had some experience. Just talk about those guys and how that's progressed through fall camp.
It's going to be T.J. Lefevre or Skylar Windmiller. Nate will be the 3rd guy. Nate's a great teammate and a very good leader, but we feel like the other two's play has stepped up. We still have not made our mind up yet who will start. I think that will happen very soon. Anticipate probably the guy that doesn't start will get a series in the first half somewhere. Potentially the second half. The first half would be 100% that it would happen. The second half would probably be about 66% that it would happen.
So you're not going to platoon.
We're not going to roll him every other series, and we certainly don't want a guy having to look over his shoulder when he makes a mistake. We want to be able to. Now, obviously, it'll be performance-based. I mean, if one plays better than the other, and it could be the one guy has in his 2 series plays better than the one that started, then maybe we'll go the next week a different deal. But right now, they're really it's almost a dead heat.
Well, that being said, being almost a dead heat, that can mean a great thing or not a very good thing. It's 2 guys are playing very well or 2 guys are playing So which one is it?
Well, I notice way more positives than I do negatives. There's not a whole lot of negatives in them. I think they both throw the ball really well, throw good balls, they both see the field well. One is probably a little more athletic than the other, but yet the one that's not as athletic may have more confidence running, than the other one. But I think they're both got very good charismatic leadership skills, and they both have a lot of talent. And I think the one that ends up, when it's all said and done, the one that ends up the starter will be a guy that I think will play productively the same as those last 7 years we got.
When will we find out who's starting on Thursday?
When that first snap comes off and Steve
5
Grider
seconds
says
prior to the game,
so-and-so at quarterback. No, you'll know before that, but I don't think we won't necessarily let the public know.
Well, we'll talk about Thursday and well, what we're going to see in public, the Missouri Western Central Missouri season opener. We'll talk that when we come back.
If change never happened, how would life take flight? How would our days unfold? At Heartland Health, we believe change can be beautiful. That's why we're changing our name to offer you even better care. Care that keeps up with the changes in your life and the moments that matter most. Heartland Health is becoming Mosaic Life Care. It's more than health care, it's life care. Visit us online to learn more.
Out of the shotgun, they're going to throw the back shoulder fade for Jordan. Goes up, makes the catch. Touchdown, Reggie Jordan. Touchdown, Missouri Western.
Well, that was the scene in Warrensburg last year. Travis Partridge to Reggie Jordan. Final seconds of the game, completing a 26-23 come-from-behind victory at Central Missouri. The Griffins have defeated the Mules in 10 of their last 11 meetings. They meet again this Thursday in the season opener in St. Joe. Who will win? That's a dumb question, because only one person has the crystal ball. Only Bo knows.
Stick 'em, ha ha ha, stick 'em. Stick 'em, ha ha ha, stick 'em. Gonna put the beat, fucking rhythm. Now with the mind-blowing body rocking DPMC, to all the homeboys and the young ladies, we're gonna rock a fist beat with the human beatbox.
Soccer's practicing right now. What are you doing out here? Okay, well, he's had all summer to analyze tape, so let's get down to the question at hand. Bo, season opener, the Mules are coming to town. We've had pretty good success against Central Missouri. Tell the folks at home how you see it. Bo, I know better than this. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but what are you eating?
Meat, mule meat.
Okay, well, we are playing Central Missouri. That's only fitting. Bo getting ready for tailgating. So, what's it going to be this week? Folks are in high anticipation.
Griff 482, Mules 2.
482-2. This is the first game of the year. Central Missouri's a good team. We've got a new quarterback. Bo, get real.
Jerry Partridge plays himself, completes 6 touchdowns in the route.
Well, I guess another Partridge will play quarterback this week. You got any logic on that?
Total pain.
Has he been working out in the offseason? He has, I think.
He gets hungrier and angrier.
Angrier, boy. I'd take him with me if I needed to be defended, that's for sure.
He keeps writing them checks with his mouth.
Well, we don't, writing the checks with his mouth, but we don't take much stock into it because it's never really the score. Usually that happens, so no one can really use that as bulletin.
He's been right a couple of times, right?
He's been right.
Yes, he has.
Yeah, he was right at Pittsburgh a couple of years ago.
He was.
But,
that he was.
No one can take that as bulletin board material. If you choose to, then that's on you. We just,
they will.
We throw it out there and let it see what sticks. Hey, Central 6-4 a year ago. Would have been 7-3 if that game against you guys ended a minute earlier. They lost to Northwest 28-24 in a very similar down-to-the-wire game the following week. So it's a very good team, and you're getting a very experienced and very dangerous Mules team in week 1.
They were 6-4 last year. They lost a heartbreaker to us, and then they were actually up 17-0 in Maryville the next week.
First half, yeah.
Lost that game, and they were 2-4 at one point, and then they won the last 4 games. And when they weren't close, they were just crushing people at the end. Offense was going really well. They're stopping people. I actually picked them second in the coaches poll. I picked Northwest, one of them second because I felt like they had the most returning good players. I think they have a D lineman and a linebacker that I think are both excellent football players. As the year went on, I started noticing it more and more how good they were. They have some big receivers, and I think I like their tight end. He's athletic. Levance Taylor's a very good back, and then the Hawk kid threw the ball really well last year. So, and Jim does a good job. Because schematically, they'll be difficult to defend, and defensively, they're very sound and get lined up, and they're going to get after you. So it's going to be a very difficult task, and I know they've got us circled on their calendar. It's marked, and they're sick of it, and we're going to get an unbelievable opponent coming here next Thursday.
Well, certainly there is no tape from the week before, so you have to rely on last year. Guessing they'll be about the same as they always have been schematically?
I think so. I mean, who knows? I mean, we never know for game 1. It's always hard when you're trying to guess tendencies and game plan it because you just don't know what got tweaked in the off season.
Yeah, teams can change things schematically that you don't prepare for.
Yeah, and your ability in game one to be able to adjust in those first couple series, you know, and to what they're doing is huge. And it helps to have experience as a coaching staff, and I think we have it, and I think they have it. So it is going to come down to who's going to take care of the football, who's going to out-hit who's going to execute, you know, penalties, you know, all the different areas that affect the football game. It's going to be the team that plays the best, makes the fewest mistakes, it's going to win.
For the team in black and gold, certainly we've talked a lot about the quarterback situation. No matter who it is, they've got a nice luxury. They're going to hand it to a pretty good running back, aren't they?
Well, it's like, you know, 3 years ago when Travis, his first start, you know, I said, look, all else fails, you got 22 next to you, Michael Hill. To me, these kids, hey, you got 26 next to him, Raphael Spencer. Raphael is probably deserved to be a first-team all-conference guy last year and wasn't. Led the league in rushing, very dynamic, very athletic, very explosive. You know, he's going to show up. He'll be there. You know, they're not going to hold. They won't hold him for a whole football game. You know, and injury-free, he'll break one. And I feel really good about Dom Thomas. He's done. You know, he's a very good back. And honestly, Dom and Roth have been banged up through camp where Trey Brown and Kendall Short have gotten a bunch of reps and gotten better. And so we feel like we got a lot of depth at that position.
Well, we talked about, you know, just some changes in the offseason which you can't prepare for. One thing that happened at Missouri Western change-wise was changing the guard and defensive coordinator. Reggie Trotter, still on the staff, back to defensive backs coach. Wes Bell, the defensive coordinator now. Just talk about that change and why.
I just felt like we needed a little bit of change and shake something up over there. One is I've been heavily involved in that side of the ball and felt like I wanted to be a little less involved. I'm still there, but still, you know, I want to turn it loose. And I think Wes has done a great job, and just felt like emotionally we needed something a little different, and that's all. And that had really nothing to do with Reggie, just more about what we want to do with Wes. We're still running what we run. We made this move in February before spring ball. We ran, you know, let Wes run the defense in spring ball.
Sometimes coaches enter the season with a gut feeling of how it's going to be. Some have no idea. What's your gut feeling?
I never really have a gut feeling. It's weird to me. You know, most people that know me know that I will tend to be a little more pessimistic. Now, when I get to talking about our players individually, I'm always very optimistic. I sell them, but as a team, I'm generally more pessimistic, and it's more of just the nature of I want to make sure we cover every little thing, you know, roll over every stone, make sure we know what's underneath it, dot every I, cross every T. I gave you a bunch of cliches right there, but still that's what's important. And we really don't have, of our starting group, there's a vast majority that have already been out there when the lights are on and it counts, and we do kind of know what we're going to be getting out of them. Like I said, there's some key spots. And more so the center and the quarterback, where they just haven't done it yet at that position.
The basic keys to winning game one on Thursday. We ask this every year.
I'm going to give you the canned stuff. You know, we can't, the penalty stuff, I mean, you want to come out of there and, you know, not have a crazy 10 penalty, 100-yard penalty day, you know. Turnovers. Can't turn over and expect to win. We need to be able to take it away from them. That has been, not necessarily last year, but the year before when we really got up on them quick. It was the turnovers that they did that cost them. Just being able to tackle well because we don't go live, you know, and you know, I'm always fearful of it. And will we tackle really well? Again, based on what we've watched these kids do over the last, you know, 2 to 3 years, a lot of them, they tackle well. So just get out there and play, get the nerves out of it, and, you know, get those first 15 minutes out of the way and get out there and play.
You guys know what it's time for?
I could guess.
Take one wild stab.
The lunch special, the soup of the day.
Tantalizing trio. We've been on hiatus since March, and guess what? We're featuring burgers around the world. It's still backyard barbecue season, and the soup is French onion. My favorite, your favorite, your favorite as well.
I do. Bo had the burger first, had the Big Mac.
And he enjoyed it, fresh off my grill. For those that don't know, we asked 3 questions, and it could be about sports. They may not be, and Coach P's going to give us first thing that pops to mind. And Coach P, you could probably guess what I'm going to ask you this week. But first, I'm going to lead off. Did you play any good golf this summer?
Very little. I played in some tournaments, but by myself, I played 7 holes of golf.
By the time this show airs, it will be almost Chiefs Eve. Can we have a prediction on what our Chiefs are going to do this year?
I'd rather not be negative.
You just said you were a pessimist.
We just 16-0 apparently.
By my own team, you know, but I'm not going to do it on air. We're Chiefs.
By nature, you're a pessimist, though.
I don't feel very. I think they have some very good pieces, and I think they're heading in the right direction, but I think they're going to take a step back first, looks like to me.
And finally, let's roll our sleeves up and get right down to it. Boyle's going to finish this thing off or not? Are we going to be talking about a division championship, or are we just going to be drowning our sorrows again for the 29th straight year.
I think the next 4 series will tell you all you need to know. The 3 of the next 4 series are against very good teams, Cleveland, Detroit, and the Yankees, and how they come out of that. If they're above 500 in those games, I think you're going to win it.
Spoken like a true Royals fan.
It's going to come down to the final week against Detroit. They'll have a 2-game lead and get swept.
Actually, it's in Cleveland and Chicago at the
final 2 weeks, excuse me. Yeah.
How they do against Detroit will be the key item.
Oh, without a doubt.
Obviously, yes. Jerry Partridge, how you do against Central Missouri will be the key item for at least week 1.
We're happy football season's back.
Good
Look
luck.
forward to it.
Yep. Thursday, 7 p.m., St. Joseph, Spratt Stadium, Central Missouri, Missouri Western. That's the opener. We'll see him there in coaching.
We might show up too.
We'll be there too.
I think we'll be there too.
We'll be right back.
Follow me into the jungle. Ain't no God on my streets, in the heart of the jungle. Won't you follow me into the jungle?
And so, Aaron, you may now kiss your bride.
Destination wedding on a beach, just a rough life, but somebody's got to live it. Griffin men's assistant basketball coach Aaron Coombs and assistant volleyball coach Signe Mules said their vows and tied the knot in late July. The wedding took place in Wilmington, North Carolina, where Coombs played his college basketball. It actually was a perfect weekend for the Missouri Western newlyweds.
For all the couples at Missouri Westerns that said we weren't married before, yeah, we're married now. So when we do take 2, we'll see where we stand with some of the greatest couples
on Valentine's
in Missouri
Day.
Western history.
And welcome back to GSI, presented by Mosaic Life Care. Those two, they claim they've never had a fight. Newlyweds.
You know, I look at those two, I believe that. And you know what? Shame on you. Somebody had to be there to capture it. And
yeah, somebody had to be there to film the wedding. That's where our budget went for the year.
That's
why
what
everything's
already done. It's not even September. Perfect.
Now it's back to the grind, and Mrs. Coombs, well, she was part of something special on the volleyball court last season.
Very much so. Coombs and first-year head coach Marion Carbon helped guide the Griffins to a 16-15 record in 2013. It was Missouri Western's first winning season in 7 years. Now, in year 2 of the Carbon era, an experienced Griffin group looks to take the next logical step, and they're taking unconventional paths to get there.
Was our Griffin Dash, that's what we call it. It's kind of like an obstacle course conditioning exercise for our team.
At the very end, after all the running and the hard stuff,
Another step to your right.
we had to do an obstacle course where one of us was blind, one of us couldn't talk, one of us couldn't hear, and basically we had to trust each other to get us through that obstacle course.
But they all did it in their own way, and they all got through it as groups.
Helps to have smart kids, doesn't it?
Yes, we have a very smart group, so that helps. We've got one of the most talented groups that we've had in a while. But their desire to win, they are a hungry group right now.
I mean, I think it's awesome that we finally have like that upperclassmen like core.
I think the players we have coming back will be key players. Of course, Erica Rottinghouse and Amanda Boonder and Sarah Fauble are all MIAA kids coming back. They will play key roles. The injuries that we're going to get back, the Jessie Thorups, Melissa Cairns coming off of injuries and being back and being healthy will add depth. It'll add firepower back into our offense that we maybe missed.
We obviously have really good chemistry because most of us have played together for so long now.
We've actually grown a lot, especially with most of the people starting as freshmen and here are seniors now.
We honestly have pretty much our entire team back from last year. Last year was great, but we're not done by any means.
It was important for us last year to get over the having a winning season hump, to finally get above 500 overall since 2006. But now we've got to build on that and really put up or shut up, so to speak, and get into that top tier of the conference.
I think now we know what we need to do. We've all seen playing time, we've all been on the court.
It's time to have a great season, a 20-win season, 25-win season for that matter, and to get to regionals. I think we'll be successful if our best players come to play every single day, build on the chemistry that we have, and combine that with the talent, the execution, all the other little details that it takes to win.
Well, Griffin Soccer also opened shop Friday in Arkansas in the MIAA GAC Challenge. And for fourth-year head coach Chad Edwards, it's the chance to start fresh and start healthy. Injuries completely derailed the Griffins' 2013 campaign. A promising 2-2 start turned to a nightmarish 2-14-2 finish. The Griffins are now retooled, rebuilt, and out for redemption.
At this point of the season, everybody's super excited. The character on this team, the leadership on this team especially, our 4 seniors did a tremendous job of preparation for this season.
I do feel like we have a lot of hope for this year. I mean, after last year, it's just you have anything but hope after that.
Yeah, last year was super tough on all of us.
Yeah, it was rough because a lot of key players were out.
I've never seen anything like it with that many injuries.
It was just tough to keep our heads up with player after player going down.
There were 3 or 4 games that we had 2 substitutions available, so that was 10 players that weren't available to play due to injury. Can't use those as an excuse, but all those players are back now. The players have put in so much time and effort, and they had that bad taste in their mouth, and ever since the end of last season, we've chatted about that on a daily basis about, remember this feeling and remember how hard this is and let's make it better going into next fall.
I see a lot of talent already. We've got a lot of fresh faces coming in.
I think we have a bright future ahead of us.
We have 11 newcomers, and 10 of those being freshmen. It's going to be up to them to step up their level and make sure they adapt quickly, because we're going to expect a lot out of them early. We've got to still build upon how we defend. I think we've defended pretty well since we've been here. Stay organized defensively, but once we get possession of the ball, we've got to keep it more. And obviously, more possession leads to more chances, which hopefully will lead to more goal scoring. And obviously, that's what has been lacking, and we've got to change that.
Just really motivates us to actually have a great year this year. And I want to go out on a great season.
I love the character on this team. I love the work ethic. I love these kids that we have coming in. And combined with those kids that we have coming back, I'm super excited.
If change never happened, how would life take flight? How would our days unfold? At Heartland Health, we believe change can be beautiful. That's why we're changing our name to offer you even better care. Care that keeps up with the changes in your life and the moments that matter most. Heartland Health is becoming Mosaic Life Care. It's more than health care, it's life care. Visit us online to learn more.
This is our annual Griffs Meeting Griffs event that is hosted by SAC. We try to get all the student athletes together from every sport, every team. We broke off and we did a big group event, which is our Sing That Tune. And then the last event was our pie eating contest, which is just our go-to. Everyone enjoys it. It's gross, but people seem to enjoy the pies and the competition.
Duffy, I'm on Griffin baseball team from Everett, Washington.
It was less than 45 seconds. That might be a record in the pie eating contest history.
You know, I'm very blessed to have this ability right here, the stomach, and I'll take the record for the school.
I like pie. You know, the hot thing of this summer, switching gears from pie to good charitable causes, it's been the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge. It's been a great cause. It's been a lot of folks all over the world have been taking part. It's unbelievable how this took off. And Coach Partridge took part, Coach Edwards took part, Coach Edison took part, Buzz Verduzco took part. One person that hasn't taken, we missed that. You have not taken part. How have you avoided that? You've even been challenged and you're just like, I'm too good for this. Are you too good for it?
I'm going to make a financial donation. Look, I dress entirely too nice.
Well, you're custom made from head to toe.
Shirts, ties, the whole works.
Oh my gosh.
Woo!
Just let him cackle. We'll be right back. We'll get tied off. You want to challenge anybody? No.
If change never happened, how would life take flight? How would our days unfold? At Heartland Health, we believe change can be beautiful. That's why we're changing our name to offer you even better care. Care that keeps up with the changes in your life and the moments that matter most. Heartland Health is becoming Mosaic Life Care. It's more than health care, it's life care. Visit us online to learn more.
Welcome back.
That's right. Happy.
You took that like a champ, man.
Good
Yep. That's good. And you're still shaking.
Yes. My tie still looks good too, doesn't it?
Anybody you want to challenge, you get that out of the way.
Challenge the rest of Griffin Nation that hasn't done it. Great cause.
Let's hope Griffin football can conquer its first challenge of a great cause to the great start of hopefully a great season. Thursday night, September 4th against Central Missouri. Season opener, home opener, 7 p.m. kickoff at Spratt Stadium. GSI for the week. We'll see you back here next week.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Go Griffs.
Go Griffs.